Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fringe Coverage. This podcast profiles the stories, swings, and stars of the LPGA Tour. And whether you're new to women's golf or a longtime fan, hopefully this podcast helps you develop your own rooting interest in women's professional golf. And today we are joined by LPGA star and major champion Allisen Corpuz. As one of the most decorated amateurs to ever play the sport, Allisen was a three-time AJGA All-American, and in 2008, she surpassed Michelle Wie to become the youngest player ever to compete in the U.S. Women Public Links at 10 years old. After racking up All-American honors while playing at USC, she's now in her fifth season on the LPGA and is one of the most accurate drivers on tour. And most notably, Allisen broke through for her first career LPGA win in 2023 in arguably the grandest fashion possible, dominating the first ever U.S. Women's Open hosted at Pebble Beach. Allisen, welcome to Fringe Coverage.
Thanks for having me today. I'm really excited for this.
Well, tell us at the end whether you're still excited about this. We're gonna brag about you a ton today. We're so excited to have you join us. But let's start here. When we were putting together this agenda, one thing that struck me was you won your major 3 years ago. It feels like just yesterday that I was watching you come down the stretch on Sunday at Pebble. Can you believe it's already been 3 years since that day?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It feels like every year the U.S. Women's Open comes around and it's like, wow, it's just been another year since then. But it's crazy. I mean, I still have people coming up to me saying like, I watched you in 2023, like, congratulations. And yeah, it very much does feel pretty recent still.
I imagine at this point, as fond as that memory will always be, you're probably ready to get the next notch in your belt and talk about a more recent win. And I see that your form seems to be kind of on the up and up here. You seem to be trending in the right direction. How's the game right now?
Yeah, it's coming around. I feel like the last few years have just been kind of building. I mean, I think there's always something you can work on in the game. And unfortunately, sometimes you go the wrong way. But feels like I've been playing pretty well recently. And I mean, our tour is so deep, right? It really feels like any week you just kind of show up with your best game and you'll be in contention. And obviously, it takes some really good golf to do so, but there's always a chance.
I'm assuming that when you dreamed of getting your first LPGA, when you weren't expecting it to be a U.S. Open championship, did that change the goals that you set for yourself moving forward?
Yeah, I think the toughest part about the win is more just kind of like what comes after it, right? Like I think in 2023, it was still second year out on tour, like you said, like I just want a win. I don't care where it is. And I think I'm kind of back to that point where it's like, yeah, like I will take any win. Like it doesn't matter where it is. But I think just having the experience of winning as well, it's a bit of like, okay, like it is right there. But at the same time, it almost feels like the second one has been tougher just because I have the experience now and know I can do it. And it's just more about being patient and, putting the steps together to get it done.
Did you learn anything about yourself? People always talk about you don't really know how you're going to act in certain situations until you're in them. And obviously that's not the first time you've been in contention for a tournament, but it was the first time at the LPGA level and certainly at a major championship level. What did you learn about yourself, your body in those moments coming down the stretch at Pebble?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think my heart beat properly for the next year afterwards. I mean, just the level of adrenaline that I had Sunday, I still don't think I've ever reached that since then. I mean, I've had a lot of rounds where I've been nervous, right? Like I think the first time you do anything, I mean, junior golf, collegiate golf, amateur golf, whatever, like there was always steps and stages where I had the nerves, but that was definitely the most nerves that I've ever felt in my life. But no, it was really nice to know that, when it comes to it, I can handle it. I think it served me well since then as well. I feel like I've had, some pressure moments. The last two Solheim Cups, I feel like a lot of what happened at the U.S. Open has helped me to build towards just being a little more comfortable in that kind of environment.
Take us into that, a moment where you are feeling, first of all, what does it feel like to recognize it in the moment? Do you find yourself standing on a tee box saying, I know my heart's beating fast, or, hey, I know that I feel different standing over this ball? And if that happens, what is it you tell yourself or go through to try to settle yourself?
Yeah, I think, I mean, for me, it's always kind of the same thing. Everything just gets a little faster. Like I start talking faster, walking faster, right? Like heart's going, hands get a little shaky when, under the gun. And I mean, I think I've luckily always been a pretty calm person. So just a lot of breathing. I think just, it's very cliche, but stay in the moment. And I think recently it's more just big picture, like, okay, like, of course, this is a really important shot, but it's like, is it really that important? Like, no, I'm really just trying to set myself up for what's going to come after this. And, I'm going to go out there and just try to make the best shot that I can. And it is like, just whatever happens, happens.
So
Yesterday, my son asked me. He said, "Hey, Dad, when I hit my first home run, how should I celebrate?" I said, "I don't think that's something that you can plan ahead of time. I think it's just something that's going to happen organically." So I'm assuming that you're on the green, you sink that final putt. Did you kind of like black out?
A little bit. I mean, I just like burst into tears. I mean, I think just the stress of being in the final round. I mean, my whole the whole day, my heart rate had been going right, and it was just kind of like, okay, like finally, like I'm done. Like I can't believe I've won. I mean, my parents were there. I had a lot of friends and family out, and obviously Jay's been on my bag for now. This is year 5 for us working together. So it was just special, like all around. And then yeah, just like the fatigue as well of just finishing a major championship, right? Like 72 holes. And I also think it's even more tiring being in contention. Like you're just always like the pressure is just always ramped up. But yeah, like I just burst into tears, and I kind of remember, my friends came onto the green, like sprayed me with water. And I kind of remember like just handing my putter to Jay, and I was just like, oh, like I can't believe I'm on camera right now. Like I'm crying so hard.
So Scotty, a couple months ago, some comments that Scotty Scheffler made the rounds about the fulfillment or sometimes lack thereof of winning. And there's what you work as professional athletes, what you work towards, the grind, the process. And then as you're standing there on the 72nd hole, either being presented a trophy, putting on a jacket, whatever the case may be, there is a moment of euphoria, but then very quickly reality sets in that tournament's over and it's somewhat on to the next. What has your experience been like? Obviously, in the grandest of fashion, we've talked at length already about it being your first career LPGA win, also being a major. How do Scotty's comments strike you in terms of whether that's something that you felt or had to deal with on your own?
Yeah, I mean, I think for Scotty, winning is maybe a lot more routine.
Sure.
I don't know how much he celebrates his wins. I mean, I actually played the week after my win as well. So, yeah, it was a pretty quick turnaround. And I think to some extent it does resonate. There was definitely a bit of like, okay, like this whole year, my goal was to win, and I've kind of won halfway through. Like, what am I going to do for the rest of the year? Right. And there's always that bit of, like, okay, like I've done it once, like, can I do it again? So, I mean, even if I hadn't won that week, I think it would have been a really big success for me. Just, final group on Sunday and kind of putting myself into spots that I hadn't been. Obviously, really, really lucky, really grateful that I did finish the job. But I think, yeah, a lot of people don't realize, like, you get the win and it is just 1 week of a full schedule for us. I usually play around 27 events. And so, yeah, you get the win and it is kind of on to the next event. And I mean, golf really doesn't care about how you've played in the past, right? Like you win 1 week and then you still have to go prepare and be ready for the next one.
So a lot of people don't know that you were actually somewhat under the weather that week. If going into that week, how did you manage the physical toll you were going through from a sickness perspective in a week that is already the most, like, by design, mentally taxing of the year, at least as far as tournaments go?
Yeah, I mean, I think almost it helps. Like, there's just something else that you're like, okay, like I'm just trying to get through the rounds. And for me, it was more allergies. Like I've kind of struggled with them my whole life, so a little worse than normal that week, but nothing new. So just have my management techniques in place, just taking my meds, making sure, I'm getting a lot of rest at night. But no, I mean, you're at Pebble Beach. Like, it doesn't matter how unwell you feel physically. Like, I was so excited to be out there that week.
Was that your first time playing there?
It was my first time being in the area. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
No kidding.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. So we also want to talk Solheim Cup. You burst onto the scene in 2023 by default because of your amazing win at Pebble Beach. So all of a sudden you go from not having won to having won a major to being a shoe-in to the 2023 Solheim Cup team. How was that transition for you from playing regular LPGA golf for at that point maybe a year and a half as a professional to team environment playing with the best in the world? What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, on one hand, it's one of those weeks where it's like, this is what I've always dreamed of, right? And it is such a big stage. I mean, I remember we were going over to Spain and everyone on the team was kind of telling me, like, you know, just prepare yourself for the music, the crowds, like it's going to be like, you know, nothing else you've ever seen. And then I thought I was prepared and I show up to the first hole and it's literally like tee box to green is just lined with people. And I mean, other than when you get to Sunday singles, right, there's only 4 matches on the course at any given time. So literally every single hole you walk to, just tee to green, is just lined with fans. And I mean, I've like, that's, I think, the only time that we get that other than, you know, Sundays at a major, or, Solheim Cup. So that was a really, really cool, unique, new experience for me. But at the same time, like, I made the team with Megan Kang. We've been friends for a really long time. I've known Nelly since junior golf as well. Like, there were a few girls on the team that, even on the European side, I mean, I played college golf with Maya, and then we ended up, you know, playing each other in Sunday singles. So it was kind of weird feeling like comfortable with, you know, the people. Like, I've played so much golf with these people, and also very uncomfortable and like nervous just with how many people there were around the event. But the Solheim Cup is unreal. Like, it's so much fun. I think it might be the most fun I've ever had at an event.
How did the fans treat you?
I mean, they're definitely biased based on where the Solheim Cup is held, but we always have an American contingent. I mean, we did in Spain, and everyone's polite, at least. But you can always tell who they're rooting for.
Yeah. Is there a specific format that you prefer playing in?
I love Sunday singles. I mean, I just think like that's where everything kind of happens all at once. And just being able to play team golf. I mean, I've been lucky enough to play foursomes with Nelly for 4 matches, and she's just so good. It's kind of like less pressure. It's like, yeah, I'm going to try to hit the best shot I can, but at the same time, like, I can hit it anywhere and she's going to hit it to like 2 feet from there. So that takes a lot of pressure off as well. And then 4-ball, still haven't won a 4-ball match yet, but it's just, it's still a lot of fun to go out there and, you know, have a teammate with you.
So 4-ball or foursomes for you? Again, personal preference.
I like foursomes. I just think it's, you know, you don't have to make a ton of birdies to win. I think it kind of brings it a little more strategy. And like I said, like, I've been lucky enough to be paired with Nelly, so it doesn't get much better than that.
I mean, knowing what you're up against when you face off against Nelly 51 weeks a year, and then get to flip and have, especially in your case, get to benefit from not just being in the same team room as her, but quite literally sharing a pairing with her multiple times. What's it like knowing whether you have it or not, you have that person standing beside you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes the strategy a lot easier. Like, I know before we go into the match, or, you know, when we played our practice rounds together in Spain, I kind of remember telling her, like, hey, like, I don't know how you feel about these holes. You know, like, even when you're deciding, like, who tees off odds, who takes evens, it's kind of like, okay, like, maybe this drive didn't look great to me during the practice round, or, you know, I kind of told her, like, these are my yardages that aren't as good. And I was like, what about you? Like, can I do anything? Like, make sure I'm not laying you up to a bad number on a par 5 or something like that. She's like, nope, like, just hit it anywhere.
Jeez.
I was kind of like, okay.
That frees you up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were not going to get out of a Solheim Cup discussion about Nelly without bringing up a specific shot you hit. And you probably, you're laughing. You already know where I'm going. So I'm going to let you set the scene here. But obviously, we're talking 2024 Solheim Cup in your morning foursomes match against Carlotta and Emily. Let the viewers know, maybe set the table of what happened, of the situation, and then what happened next.
Yes. So this was day 2. So I'm actually going to take you back to day 1.
Yes. Here we go.
Day 1, we were also, me and Nelly were paired together, and I can't remember who we were playing. I believe it was Esther and maybe Charlie.
Okay.
But so we get to 14, and Nelly's outdriven the other team. So we're hitting second. So whoever's, I believe it was Esther, hits it in the water. It was like that front left pin in the bowl. And I hit it in the water after her. I don't know if we misjudged the wind. Like I hit it. I missed it a little, but I didn't think I hit it bad enough to go into the water. Like I was like, kind of like, okay, like it'll still clear. And I look up and it splashes. So then we both get into the drop area. Luckily me and Nelly make it up and down for par, win the hole and move on. And so we get there on day 2, and it's a pretty similar number, I believe, or maybe even like 5 yards longer to the front edge, but now it's the flag is on the top tier. So I'm kind of like, okay, like I hit 4 hybrid in the water yesterday, and it's a pretty similar number. Can't feel the wind, but if it's similar to yesterday, like this is going to come up short. And so I kind of tell her, I'm like, hey, like we can either go short, but I'll have to aim it out right, or if we need to hit, like we want to hit the green, I have to hit the 5 wood. And so she's like, her and Jason, her caddy, are kind of like, okay, like, just hit the 5 wood. If it's in the back bunker, like not the end of the world. It's not too hard of a shot. So I say, okay. And I think it's a little bit of an upslope. Sorry, side hill lie, like ball above my feet. And I'm like, okay. And kind of get over the ball. And I'm like, okay, like you just need to hit a solid one here. And I still like don't know what I did. I think I chunked it and then topped it. Like I've seen videos like, and like I just kind of look back at the ground like what just happened. And then the camera pans to like looks at the water, like they have no idea where the ball's gone. And I mean I couldn't see the ball either, like I didn't see it. And then all of a sudden like we hear cheering and they're like, it's on the green.
Outrageous shot. And what happened next?
Nelly makes this 25 footer for eagle.
Outrageous eagle. There's no weirder eagle I've seen. That like there are certain eagles that stand out in my mind. Tom knows, like I loved watching last year's Evian when Grace Kim did what she did, and there was just some amazing shots down the stretch between her and Gino. There's those types of eagles, and then there's Allisen Corpuz at the 2024 Solheim Cup. People already know you're one of the most accurate hitters on tour. That's a little unfair. I'm just going to say, Allisen, when your misses, when you top a ball and you're still putting it within eagle putt distance, not fair. All right, well, let's talk about your cat. You mentioned Jay a couple times. At this point, 5 years in, Jay knows you really well. Take us inside the ropes a little bit of where someone like Jay is really helpful for you and the types of things he says to get you focused on what you need to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first of all, just when it comes to the job, I mean, at this point, like, it's kind of funny. Like, he tells people, he's like, on my off weeks, I go to play golf and I have a yardage, and let's say he's 140. He's like, I know Allisen would hit 8 iron. Like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to hit from here, right? Like, it really does feel like he knows my game, especially like this far in, like really well. So we'll kind of walk up to a shot, and like I think we think of it very similarly. We'll just kind of be like, okay, like it's this number, wind's coming from here, whatever. Like we're gonna aim a little right of the flag, a little left of the flag here, and just I think being able to clarify my shots with him helps a lot. So just from the work side, I think he's a great caddy, knows my game really well, gets out there, walks the courses ahead of time. I just always feel like at an event, like just more prepared, just knowing like he knows, like he has the game plan. So it's one less thing off my plate that I have to think about. And now just from like a friendship standpoint, I mean, I think, like golf is sometimes really hard, sometimes really easy. And I feel like for me, like I said earlier, I always get a little quick under pressure. So I think he's always quick with like a joke, or like what TV show are you watching, or something to kind of take my mind off of things. And yeah, I mean, like I can think of, like last year we were in Korea, and kind of a flat round on Sunday, and I kind of like looked at him. I was just like, hey, like let's try to birdie like a last few holes, see how many we can get coming in. And he's like, well, why not the last 5? And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that, but like I'll try. And then yeah, made 5 in a row. That's my first time ever doing 5 in a row.
Wow.
So I think just moments like that where it really feels like almost having someone to have like a lot more faith in me right there, where I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. Like I'll try my best. And he's always just like, no, like I've seen you play golf. Like you can absolutely do it. I think just the encouragement like that. Yeah. Just so invaluable having him on the bag.
So it sounds like you value the friendship aspect of the caddy player relationship. It's not just like a boss and employee style relationship.
Yeah. I mean, I get to pick at the friendship side just because he is really good at his job. I mean, it's definitely tough, like finding someone that's the right fit. I would say that those are kind of the 2 main things, is just, are you good at the job, and are we a good fit, like just personality wise? And I feel like I've been really lucky enough to just gel with Jay on both accounts.
Well, it's pretty well documented now. Jay obviously has a relationship with another LPGA player, being married to Jen Kupcho. You've been paired multiple times, I'm sure, throughout the course of your career since Jay's been on your bag. At the Solheim Cup, you've been paired with Jen. What are the vibes like in a pairing where your caddy is your teammate's husband?
No, I mean, they keep it so professional. I mean, we play a lot of practice rounds together just because I like playing a lot of really early Tuesday practice rounds, and Jen will kind of be like, well, I'm dropping Jay off at the course anyways. Like, I'll come play with you. But no, it's a lot of fun. I mean, like they kind of joke, like if you didn't know they were married, you probably wouldn't be able to tell, at least when it comes to, a tournament round. And I think that's true. And Jen's also just been really helpful for me as well. Like I remember my rookie season, kind of the first time I was in contention, she was kind of like, Jay kind of came the next morning and he was like, hey, like Jen recommended, this, and this today. Like, let's just, stick to our game plan. Like, I just feel like at certain points in my career, she's also been really helpful as well. Obviously being out on tour for a few years longer than I have been as well. So, yeah, I've been really lucky to have just advice from both of them.
With you in your 5th season on tour, do you find yourself tackling each season with a different goal in mind? Like, are you now traveling less, or are you scheduling practices in a different frequency?
I think just each season I try to reflect on, what I've done well, what I could do better, and just try to keep building each season. So I don't think too much has necessarily changed, but it's more just making small tweaks along the way and just trying to see, like, what can I do a little better each year?
Do you feel like, looking back, did you have any deer in the headlights of what it was like to come out of college where everything's kind of taken care of for you from a logistics perspective to now being your own traveling circus that you have to orchestrate for the most part? Looking back on that now, have any of those habits of the way you approach the travel side of your world change?
Yeah, I've been really lucky. My parents have helped me a lot. My mom travels with me full time, and then my dad helps me with the travel a bit as well. So luckily not too much deer in the headlights. There's definitely been, a few booking mishaps. I feel like you can't escape without a few of those, but for the most part, pretty smooth. And I feel like, yeah, like I've known some of the girls out on tour here for a really long time. I mean, like I said earlier, Megan Kang, I've known her since we were like 8 years old. So I've also been really lucky enough to have a few established relationships before I came out on tour. I think just, the more friends you have out here, the more comfortable it'll be. And yeah, just being able to ask people for advice has been really helpful.
When we started this podcast, we had a very simple goal in mind, which was to bring more attention to this tour that we greatly enjoy watching. We're starting to ask this question pretty regularly to any one of our guests. why do you think more casual sports fans should watch the LPGA?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great tour, and I think just like I know people say it's a little more relatable, right? Like we don't hit the drives 350 yards like the men do, and I think that's true to a certain aspect. Like, yeah, you absolutely have your weekend golfer that can hit a drive 250 like I do, but at the same time, I think it's really impressive when you really dive into it, like how good the tour is. Like, it's kind of like, this is someone who has all the shots that you do, and they're doing it so much better than you ever will.
For sure.
Like, I think it's obviously really cool to watch the men play, but like, I think the women's game is relatable in a way that it is possible still for the average golfer, but it is still very, very difficult to do. And I think once you recognize how good and how deep the tour is, and just how many stories there are, right? Like, I mean, every single week, like if you're there out, especially on the weekends, like you'll see so many girls just after the round signing autographs, giving away golf balls, giving away gloves. Just from the personality side as well. I mean, I just think our tour is so kind. Like our tour just feels so much more like a family, I think. And the more you invest in our sport, the more you watch us, I think the more you see the friendships, you see, all the stories. I mean, I think a great example is like Lily Avu, right? Like she struggled out of college a bit, and then like here she is now like a 2-time major champion, right? Like there's just so many more stories, I think, that get overlooked. And I think they're really cool. Like you tune in and you start to catch all of that. It's just like not just the great golf, like there are just so many incredible people to learn about.
At this point, do you feel there is more that the players as a whole, I'm going to say, need to be doing? Or do you feel that the work you all are putting on, the craft that you're putting on display is enough, and now it's time for the rest of the world to come find you? I'm curious where you net out on all of that, given the current state of the LPGA and women's sports.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think of it as just an overall, like, I guess, potential for opportunity. I don't really think there's ever going to be just a one, like, isolated, this is what could be better. But I also think, like, from the player standpoint, right, like, it is a lot of work for us as well. Like, I also understand why players maybe aren't posting on social media all the time. Like, at the end of the day, like, we still do need to, like, go out and play golf. So I think it's just more about everyone just trying to do a little better each year, just keep getting better. And hopefully one day, we're at a point where everyone's happy about it.
I feel the same way you do. I feel like Mark and I put out a great product, and just other people need to start paying attention to it. But to your point earlier, we've probably interviewed about 10 to 15 players, and every time we hang up with them, Mark and I just go, she was awesome. She just a great personality, so humble and just really easy to talk to. And anytime anyone asks us about the LPGA, I think Mark and I both just say, all these players are just so easy to root for. There's no arrogance about any of them. It's just they love the game, and they all have great personalities. And, if they have the platform to shine, they absolutely would.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, and some of it too is just the TV time, right? Like they're just showing our shots on TV, which is really important. But like you said, like I also feel like sometimes, like, yeah, it is tough to just get out there and monologue for an hour, and people really get to know who you are as a person as well.
When we just had Mike Wan on, one of the things we said, hey, if you had the whole world's attention for 5 minutes, how would you pitch the LPGA? And the short version of it was like, we have the Olympics every week. Like we have in terms of the international flair of the tour, but what it's lacking and what the tour's currently working on and its broadcast partners are the storytelling components, right? He used the example of like, we root for the Jamaican bobsledder because NBC tells us about them in the 3 minutes leading up to the race. And so like, again, the product is there, which is why I asked the question the way I did of hey, I think the work you all are doing from a golf perspective is more than enough and should be more than enough. But I'm gonna totally change gears on you here. You mentioned earlier when you're feeling pressure, Jay just knows the right thing at the right time to get your mind off it. Let's get your mind off golf a little bit here. Let's talk a little bit about Allisen off the course. First off, you mentioned one of the things he asks you is what TV shows you're watching right now. If you've got downtime, whether you're traveling or you're home, what are you doing with that time?
Yeah, I will take whatever TV show recommendations you have.
Ooh, okay.
I feel like I've recently been getting a little more into TV. I'm actually a big reader.
Okay.
So yeah, just use the public library app, Kindle.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Libby? You're using Libby?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually read a bunch, and then every so often I feel like I either don't watch TV for like 3 months, or I'll just like finish a show in like 3 weeks. There's not really an in-between for me. But yeah, those are my two main things I'd say off the course.
What's something recent you've watched? Don't you hate that question?
Yes, I finished up season 3 of Night Agent on Netflix, and then I finished Schitt's Creek last year. I think those are my two most recent. And then every once in a while, I love going back and watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That might be my all-time favorite. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like it. There's some good range there, Tom.
I will do like the Halloween episodes. I'll just do like 1 week and watch one of the Halloween episodes every day. I
love the heists are so great.
Yes, phenomenal.
Okay. You said you play 25, 27 events a year. Favorite tour stop for food?
Food. I believe we haven't been there the last 2 years, but Wilshire Country Club is awesome. Mm-hmm. I believe we'll be back next year.
And we're just talking the player dining is great?
Yeah, I mean, just everything. I mean, I'm also a little biased. Like, I was there in college. I was there as an honorary member before I moved to Vegas. And just the club is great as well. But I feel like every tour stop that we play at, like, all the local people are so welcoming to us. They just love having an LPGA event.
I mentioned this to you off air. We saw you took college very seriously on the academic side. Walk us through the degrees you have and maybe what vision you had at the time or now for how one day you might put those to use.
Yeah. So I did my undergraduate degree in business administration, and that was when COVID hit. So I technically finished that in December of 2019. And even before COVID had hit, I wanted to finish my full 4 years. So that would have had me finishing in May of 2020. And so I looked at my options, and USC has this thing that they call a progressive degree where you can pursue your bachelor's and your master's at the same time. So even before COVID hit, I had been looking into this program to get my master's just because I wanted to do my full 4 years at USC. And I got into the master's program for supply chain management. And and then COVID hit and I had a 5th year.
Oh boy.
So it was kind of like, okay, so originally I was supposed to finish the master's mostly complete by May of 2020. And I think I would have had to take 1 or 2 classes to finish December of 2020. And then now it was like, okay, well, now I want my graduation year to be May of 2021.
Right.
So, so just within the master's program, if you take, it's a bit like picking a minor, but they call it a graduate certificate. I believe I did it in sustainability and business, and I don't actually remember the second one now. It's been a while. But yeah, that was just basically just kept taking classes that I thought were interesting to fill up the 5 years. And unfortunately, I think most of it will be obsolete by the time I enter the workforce. A lot of the supply chain stuff, especially, is really tech dependent. So just with how technology keeps improving, evolving, like the surge of AI that's happened recently, I don't really know how useful it's going to be, but I've always loved learning. So yeah, I really just went out and just took a bunch of classes that sounded fun.
Well, certainly
well,
not
I think I know why you don't have any time to watch TV shows. I think this all makes sense now.
Yeah. And certainly not anything you have to be concerned about anytime soon. All right. You're known to have a very calm demeanor. You obviously have one right now as we're talking. Do you ever get fired up on the golf course?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just think it's so funny because people are always like, "Oh, I saw you on TV and you look, really, really calm." And I'm like, no, like my heart was going. I just feel like I've always been able to, I guess, like present as calm. But no, I mean, I still get the adrenaline rushes. It's just
what's the most fired up
up
outwardly you've been on the golf course? Some event along the line.
I mean, definitely Solheim Cup. I think you just try to bring the energy for your teammate as well. So that's kind of like, okay, like a few fist pumps. Like I'm usually not like a fist pumper, like when I play by myself, just because it doesn't feel super organic to me. But I've definitely thrown a few, especially at RTJ and when we won last year in 2024.
So as you look at the rest of 2026, what goals are on the horizon for you, whether it's just this season or as far out as you're projecting? What's on your short list of things that you're trying to accomplish right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big one for the year would be Solheim Cup. I mean, I've never been a huge goal person. I think I've always been more about, put in the work and the rest will come. So there's a few things in the game that I'm working on. Worked a lot on, just distances throughout the off season. And I feel like that's been a bit of like a hit or miss throughout the season. Like I've been definitely hitting it farther, but also like sometimes I'm just hitting it far, right? Like I'll just kind of be like, okay, like this is stock 8-iron and suddenly it's gone 10 yards farther. So there's a bit of work in the game, but, I'd like to keep cleaning up. You can never, be too good of a putter. Like I think you can always improve there. But always just trying to improve in the little ways and just kind of let things happen as they happen.
Well, you've got two big fans in Tom and I. We've loved getting to speak with you today and certainly watch your journey. I guess I can't believe it's been 3 years since Pebble. I'm sure you're probably tired of hearing that at this point. So we're rooting for you to have a new tournament that you're proud of to talk about here shortly. Allisen, thank you so much for making time for us today, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it.
If you have suggestions for players or topics to discuss on the podcast, send us an email at fringecoverage@gmail.com, and make sure you follow us on Instagram at FringeCoveragePod. And whether you're approaching from the fairway or the rough, we've got you covered inside the Fringe.